Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis are hiding from the public as their marriage is falling apart and their future in Hollywood is looking dim. Mila is disappointed that Ashton has hidden so many dark secrets from her that she's run away from him after Diddy went to trial and the Danny Masterson letters destroyed their reputation. So let's get into it. Everyone's been asking about Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis because ever since Diddy got charged, Ashton's been very low-key. There was also the Danny Masterson situation where they wrote letters to a judge trying to boost their friend and get him a lower sentence. Remember, it got so bad they had to step down from their charity. But look at some of these recent headlines. Ashton Kutcher to choose between Diddy and wife Mila Kunis. A battle between friendship and marriage. Who would want to be friends with Diddy right now besides Kanye West? Another headline reads that these two look strained out in LA amid marriage drama rumors. To be honest, I feel like we haven't heard much from these two this year at all. So far in 2025, both have been seen individually out with their children on multiple occasions. Recent joint appearances have been notably less affectionate, with some reports describing their demeanor as tense or guarded. In early 2025, Mila was spotted spending time at her mother's home, possibly moving in with her, and she even took a solo vacation to Europe, which I feel like going out of the country, I would not want to go without my significant partner. So why is she traveling internationally without Ashton? Is there a possibility that Ashton is going to be joining the Diddy trial and that's why he can't leave? A source told In Touch Weekly that Ashton's been so exasperated that he once again is being dragged through the mud because of his past associations. And you guys know we do blind item breakdown every Thursday on this channel, and let's just say the blind items, they're not pretty.
We have a lot to unpack here. We have a new blind item about Ashton Kutcher, Mila Kunis, and Sean Diddy Combs. And the blind item reads, the current wife of this former A-list, mostly television actor from multiple hit shows has moved into a different property they own. She wants distance when the videos including him start to leak. And this is allegedly about Ashton Kutcher's involvement with Diddy, everything Diddy is currently being charged for, and what he may or may not have let transpire during those years.
Now, sources close to the couple revealed that Ashton and Mila are distancing themselves from Diddy. Well, good luck with that. A source shared that there's no way in hell that Ashton or Mila will be showing any support for Diddy. Well, also after what they did with Danny Masterson, like you would hope they learned their lesson. Another insider claimed that Mila's made it clear to Ashton that he should no longer remain in contact with Diddy and that the couple have been stepping back from their once close friendship. You ever feel like no matter how hard you work, your debt just keeps piling up? Credit cards, personal loans, medical bills. It's like your money's going everywhere but your savings. It's overwhelming, and that's why I want to talk to you about PDS Debt. They're a team that actually gets it. With over 100,000 Americans helped and more than $500 million in debt resolved, they use smart technology to create a custom plan for your exact situation. No one-size-fits-all BS. They are data-driven solutions that work. And the best part, no minimum credit score required. So whether your credit is rough or not where you want it to be, PDS meets you where you are. So don't wait, because every day you put this off, it is costing you more. Just head to pdsdebt.com/Sloan right now. That is pdsdebt.com/Sloan and see what's possible. Get your free debt analysis and start taking control of your life. Thank you, PDS Debt, for sponsoring this video. Really suspicious that these two have very close friendships with people who are criminals. I mean, Diddy hasn't been technically convicted yet, but he's had past crimes before, like that club shooting with Jennifer Lopez there. Danny Masterson also doing what he did, which is horrific. So I'm questioning like what these two have been up to.
Mila Kunis has allegedly moved out of the home she shares with Ashton Kutcher because she is aware of the fact that horrible information about Ashton and Diddy together, as well as video footage of the two of them together, is about to be released.
You guys know we like to report everything on this channel, but there have been so many rumors about these two. There was one rumor that alleges that there was a video of Ashton, Diddy, and Ashton's ex-wife, Demi Moore, together. That is why Mila Kunis is concerned, because she doesn't want that footage or incriminating information to ever surface. Like I said earlier, it's been suggested that she had moved out to her mother's home or went on this trip to Europe to somehow get away from Ashton. We don't have confirmation of this, but there are so many different articles and people talking about it that I feel like where there's smoke, there's got to be fire.
So let me get this straight. So Mila Kunis has allegedly moved out of her home with Ashton because of the information that is about to be released about Ashton and Demi at these Diddy freak-off parties. And it's common knowledge that Demi and Ashton would attend Diddy parties repeatedly. It was well known that Diddy and Ashton were actual friends. And we also know that the reason why this power couple divorced in the first place was because of trust issues and cheating rumors. Allegedly, Demi wanted to stop going to these freak-off parties and Ashton did not. There's also a 15-year age gap, so it's very likely that she was done before him.
This comment reads that Mila is moving out because it's coming out, not because she cared. She knew all along and stayed this whole time. Another comment reads that Ben Affleck is distancing from J-Lo. Same reason. But interesting that Ashton and J-Lo are taking two different paths. Like J-Lo is trying to stay in everyone's faces and have everyone forget, while Ashton is hiding, which I think makes him look more guilty. Now, Ashton's relationship with Diddy goes way back in the early 2000s. They first met whenever Ashton Kutcher was hosting Punk'd and Diddy was making waves in the hip-hop world. In the early years of their friendship, the duo enjoyed legendary parties. Ugh, not legendary. Ashton said, if you're a single man, there's probably no greater human being in the world to hang out with. Talking about Diddy. Ashton has remained more reserved about the wild stories from those times. In 2019, during a Hot Ones appearance, he said, I've got a lot I can't tell. Well, you know what? You might be forced to tell that to the jury. Now, maybe Mila Kunis took that solo vacation to Europe for other reasons. Maybe she's looking for a home for her and Ashton to escape to. I mean, that's what some of the headlines read, that they're trying to get out of Hollywood, which I think is such a BS excuse. It's like, yeah, you probably want to get out of Hollywood for a good reason. This person rates had it with Hollywood, more like had it with the consequences for Hollywood. Babes, you are the problem of which you speak. You brought every ounce of this on your own heads. Go off, Laker Dave. Another person added that they should be the last people talking about moral high ground in this situation. They are our word supporters, and Ashton Kutcher's weird comments about underage Hillary Duff. Oh no, are we gonna go there? Let's go there. Now, you know, back then there was a moment where Hillary Duff was 15 years old and Ashton made some really creepy comments about her. Kind of reminds me of MGK talking about Kendall Jenner inappropriately. Same kind of energy, and I don't know how these things would just slide.
Hillary Duff is in Lizzie McGuire. She also has an album out. She's going to be in a movie called Cheaper by the Dozen, and she's one of the girls that we're all waiting for to turn 18, along with the Olsen twins.
He's talking about the Olsen twins too. I mean, I feel like this can't be real. This person pointed out in the comments that what's even more disgusting is that Ashton started a foundation that supposedly helps kids from trafficking, which he did have to step down from that organization. And, you know, I don't even want to like think about like dark thoughts and those things, but I hope that they were actually helping kids from trafficking and not doing the opposite. Like, I don't even want to speak it into existence.
I also immediately thought it was weird Ashton Kutcher would write a character letter to the judge in Danny Masterson's case when he is the founder of Thorn, which is an anti-human trafficking organization.
Now, I know we've talked about this Danny Masterson letter time and time again, but I want to bring it up once more. Now, the backlash was intense when this letter was released to the public, and they both issued a terrible apology. The incident reportedly shook their public image and their marriage. Mila, in particular, was said to be blindsided by how bad the situation spiraled. The couple even entered therapy and kept a low profile for much of 2024. Now, this is another creepy Ashton Kutcher story that we've talked about before on the channel, but I have to bring it up again, especially if you are new here. Thank you so much. If you aren't, subscribe, because the percentage on my thing shows me that most of you guys aren't even subscribed. Like, what? Is that real? Tell me that's not real. Ashton Kutcher had to testify in a unaliving trial of a 22-year-old fashion design student that he went to go pick up one night 18 years ago. I don't know when this was reported, and left when she did not answer the door. Turns out that she was unalived inside of her home. Her name is Ashley, and she was going on a date with Ashton on February 21st, 2001. When he arrived at her Hollywood home, he noticed that no one was answering the door. He claims he knocked again, and once again, no answer. And at that point, he pretty well assumed that she had left for the night and that he was late, so she was probably upset and said, you know, screw him, just go and hang out and have a girls' night.
Back in February of 2001, a girl named Ashley Ellerin was brutally murdered in her apartment. Ashley was a girl that Ashton Kutcher had been seeing very casually. They had plans to go to a Grammys after party together. So Ashton calls her around like 8 p.m.ish and he's like, hey, I'm gonna come pick you up soon. Be ready. Then Ashton doesn't show up at her apartment until about an hour after he made that call. He gets to her apartment about 10 p.m. and he calls her and she's not answering. He knocks on the door, no answer at the door. He tries to open the door, can't get in, it's locked. Then he goes over to the window of her apartment and he sees a giant red stain on the ground. In his mind, he said, oh, like that must be a wine stain or that must be like a spill or something. Whatever, I'm getting ghosted, gonna cut my losses, moving on.
And he left?
He left.
So like that podcaster said, Ashton looked through the window and he thought that there were wine stains on the floor, but it was BLOOD. The next day he was freaking out because he heard about what had happened and said, my fingerprints are on the door. Prosecutors found the guy who ended up doing this. Ashton didn't, or at least that's what the reports are saying. But he actually unalived 3 different women, which is really just disgusting. I mean, rotten hell. Ashton claims that he spoke to her around 8:30 p.m. that night, and he was probably the last person that she spoke to. They say that Ashley was attacked from behind by this man as she exited her shower. I don't know how the stains maybe got to that like living room. I know that's so morbid to think about, but like, you know, the bathroom shouldn't be that clear, like that close to the living room. So I don't know if it went out to there. But honestly, like, let's take a moment and rest in peace to Ashley. 22 years old is too young. This comment reads that the fact that Ashton found his girlfriend unalived in her home and left without calling police told me all I needed to know about him. And of course, I don't think that Ashton actually like did this crime. I mean, I don't know if he really did think that she was unalived or what. I mean, I would have probably called police in that moment too. I can't even imagine being in that moment. But the fact that he's associated with it isn't good. He's associated with Diddy. He's associated with Danny Masterson. I mean, the list is piling up.
One of Danny Masterson's victims wrote on social media on her story, she posted, Dear Ashton, I know the secrets your role model keeps for you. Role model being Danny Masterson. Ones that would end you. Did you forget I was there? You were on speakerphone the night you called Danny on February 21st, 2001, which is the night of Ashley Ellerin's murder.
You've got to be kidding.
I heard everything. I heard the plan. In my opinion, you're just as sick as your mentor. I think Ashton Kutcher may have been blackmailed by Danny Masterson because listen to this. He made a call to 2 people the night of the murder, Danny Masterson and his publicist.
Now that is true. There is a woman who accuses Danny Masterson of doing horrific things to her. Her name is Chrissy, and she also claims that Ashton has a secret to hide. She said, did you forget I was there? Speculation about his actions on that night, February 21st, 2001, because I guess she was with Danny whenever Ashton called. She says that he was on speakerphone that night that he called Danny. She says, I heard the plan. In my opinion, you're just as sick as your mentor. Oh, she also wrote a message to Mila. Let's unpack this. Dear Mila, I pray that you begin to process what you experienced as a child on that set. Your old interviews are very telling. I guess when she was on the 70s show, do so before they get scrubbed from the internet. I also know what happened in Toronto and after. Ooh, if you guys want me to do a deep dive onto these allegations, let me know. If that's what you view as a normal relationship with a big brother figure, then I feel very sad for you, and I hope you consider getting into therapy. You must forget I was there while the whole time of 5 years on that 70s show, and I remember everything. Now, we talk about people making false allegations all the time, and it's really upsetting when they do. But this woman ultimately got Danny Masterson convicted for what he had done to her. So, I mean, she's gone through the legal process. She's been vetted. I don't know why she would have to lie now. This comment reads that Ashton is associated closely with so many men that are terrible, and he's gotten a pass because he's attractive.
Kutcher sure is close to some very serious predators for a man who co-founded a non-profit that is supposed to protect children from trafficking and child SA. Do we think that Ashton Kutcher will write character letters for Diddy if he gets arrested and convicted of something?
So let's say Chrissy's telling the truth, and we live in this very dark world where he called up his friend, told him what had happened. He had committed this crime, And like, that's just the world we exist in. I mean, I would hate to think that that is real. But because of these actions, people have also connected Ashton to Brittany Murphy's passing. A YouTube video titled Brittany Murphy's Secret Recording Played in Court, Diddy and Ashton Kutcher Implicated got a bunch of views, and they linked Brittany Murphy's death to both Diddy and Ashton. Now, of course, none of this has been confirmed by like authorities. I mean, do you think the authorities would want to be doing that? In my opinion, alleged, a lot of them are corrupt. Remember, Brittany Murphy died of like pneumonia and anemia, and there was mold in her home, but it also kind of matches like Kim Porter and people who have died of poisoning.
Hey, does anyone remember when Brittany Murphy was dating Ashton Kutcher and they were hanging out with like P. Diddy a lot? And then does anyone remember that Brittany Murphy like died from pneumonia, but then they did an autopsy and they found out that it was rat poison? And then they also did an autopsy on like her creepy husband and they found out that it was also rat poison. And then P. Diddy's ex-wife Kim Porter, she also died from pneumonia, and they had the same coroner that Brittany Murphy had. And then also, do you guys remember that the house that Brittany Murphy died in, Britney Spears actually first bought that house, and she was like, there's a really weird like energy in this house, like I don't like it, I want to sell it. And they were like, Britney Spears, like you just bought this house, like you can't sell it. And she was like, well, there's really bad energy, I don't like it. And they're like, okay, well, we can get like an exorcist and like a priest in here. And they did that, and they cleared all the bad energy. And she was like, still bad juju, don't like this house, have to sell it. And they were like, you just bought it. And she was like, don't care, I'm Britney Spears, we're selling the house. And they were like, okay, Brittany. So she sold the house, and who did she sell it to? Brittany Murphy, and then Brittany Murphy died in that house. And then do you guys also remember that like after Brittany Murphy died, her mom like took all of her stuff and like sold everything, like including her underwear? That was kind of weird. And then before her like creepy husband died, her and Brittany Murphy's mom like did a photo shoot where they looked like a married couple. That was just kind of weird.
Now, there is so much lore to that home that Brittany Murphy had died in. If you guys have not seen my video about that, definitely go and check it out. It is so good. This comment reads, there are reasons Topher never wanted to hang out with his co-stars.
There are two very important things that people need to learn from Topher Grace. The first being, you don't need to be everybody's friend. Sometimes you can just go into work and say hi and bye, and that be it. And two is that you don't need to clear up people's perception of you if you know it's not true. People used to say that Topher thought he was too good to hang out with the cast of that 70s show, and that he was stuck up and that's why he wasn't friends with them. And 20-something years later, his co-star Danny Masterson is serving 30 years for crimes against women. We have his other co-star Wilmer being dragged for dating a lot of underage girls. And last but not least, his co-star Ashton has been in so much hot water, I can barely keep up.
Now, that's a really interesting point, because the 70s show, there is a lot of darkness there and a lot of overlap of co-stars, but Topher never really wanted to be part of that mess. We also have a great video about Wilmer on the channel, him like, you know, dating Demi Lovato, the song she wrote about him going after Lindsay Lohan. He is weird as well. But let's go ahead and open a P.O. Box package item. It looks like it's from Abby, and they're located in Oregon. I just got a package from my mom. My mom handles my P.O. Box and then sends it to me. So let's go ahead and see what this is. Oh, I hope you have a letter too. Sometimes I like don't get a letter. Maybe the letter's inside this thing. Wait, where is the letter? Okay, Abby, well, thank you. Oh, okay, here we go. They write, only if you knew how happy I am about this moment finally arriving. Thank you for being my friend. I handmade this cotton scarf with love. Thank you. Trigger warning. In the next coming weeks, I hope to open my Shopify shop. I have 2 daughters and they are 3 and soon to be 5 years old. I have not seen nor spoken to them in over 2 years. Your videos give me strength and will carry on to see them again. Keep up the good work. Real people will always support real people until we meet in person, my friend. Lots of love, Abby. Thank you, Abby. I really appreciate that. Also, I hope you get to see your children. That sounds really sad. But oh my gosh, wait, what is going on here? What does it say? Okay, wait, hold on. We have this scarf here that has like a pocket. Cute. And then it says, let's get into it. Hosted by Sloan. Oh my gosh, I love this. Thank you so much, Abby. I love custom things like this. And how talented are you? I love this. I'm manifesting your shop popping off. Thank you so much. It goes with my let's get into. So let's get into. Oh, let's go ahead and. It goes to my Let's Get Into It sweatshirt on SloanHooks.com. I'm such a bad salesman, but thank you guys so much, and I'll see you in a new video soon. Bye, guys. Remember to get your free debt analysis at pdsdebt.com/Sloan.